Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to Blissfully Bloom. I'm Victoria LeBlanc, a self-love and soulful coach, and I'm your host. The intention of this podcast is to guide women to fall in love with themselves, embody confidence, and drop the stories of not good enough. Your soul will awaken to the truth that you have always been worthy. In this remembering, you no longer wait for permission, validation, or acceptance. You choose yourself, and you become a woman who blissfully blooms like a rose, showing the world your authentic self, talents, and gifts because it's your birthright. Hello there, and welcome back to Blissfully Bloom. I'm so glad you are here and listening to another episode. And I'm so excited for this one because I have brought on a guest. Her name is Victoria Spencer, and we are going to be talking and diving into the topic of intuition or soul guidance. Throughout the years, I have really learned to trust and connect with my intuition, but there have been times when I have not listened. And when I was overthinking or overanalyzing something, it really led me to a place where I was left feeling like I wasn't fully embodying who I really was. Such as chasing a dream like nursing school and realizing that it wasn't even my dream, which, I'm very, very thankful and grateful for that experience. But I think if I would have listened to my intuition, I would have been led somewhere else. And I think it's just a matter of us trusting and really practicing being divinely led. And I cannot wait for you to listen to our conversation today. So, Victoria is an intuitive life and business coach and mentor. What she's always known to be true is that she is here for impact. It plays such an important factor in the decisions that she makes every day. She loves nothing more than supporting and empowering others as they grow and flourish in life and in business. And she also has a lifetime of spiritual gifts and energetic capabilities. She's very passionate about supporting women in life and in business to fully trust and lead with their intuition so that they can build their life and grow their business that's 100% right for them and feels so dang good. The byproduct of that is fulfillment, success, and financial independence. Today in this episode, you're going to learn what is intuition and how can we really start to heighten this ability, this gift within us. And then we're also going to dive into how we can let go of people pleasing and really follow our hearts and allow the guidance to come through, allow the ideas, the inspiration, the downloads to come through us and to trust them and to follow them. And then we're also going to dive into fear and how that plays a role and how it can be blocking our intuition, how we can sometimes get so lost in our logical minds that we end up forgetting what our bodies already know, what our hearts and our intuition knows. All right, so without further ado, let's get straight into the episode. But if you haven't already, make sure to leave a rating and review either on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It really allows the podcast to grow and flourish. And then also, if you love what you hear, make sure to screenshot the episode and tag me on your stories at blissfully.bloom, and I'll also give you a shout out as well. And share your biggest key takeaway or what you loved out of the episode or what insights or any ideas or inspiration that channeled through you today. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Hi, Victoria. Welcome to Blissfully Bloom.
Hi, Victoria. It's lovely to be here.
I'm so glad to have you here with me and to speak all about intuition today. So, my first question that I have for you is what is one powerful lesson you have learned that has changed your life?
Wow, that is a really powerful question. To trust my intuition. that would be the answer. Very, very important. Yes, trusting my intuition. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, well, I'm so excited to dive into that topic today. My first question I have about intuition is what is our intuition and how can we start to develop our intuition?
That's a really good question. And what is intuition? It's you. It's that part of you that knows everything. Almost imagine you've got this unique, personal, almost like a sat nav in the car, navigation system inside you that knows everything that you want, everything you desire, and the quickest route to get there. That's what you're tapping into. So it's what I would call the true essence of who you are. You could, your soul, if you like to use it. Depends what language you like to use, but I'm very comfortable with that. It's my soul guidance, my intuition. It's that beautiful depth the deep essence of who you are. And we're all using our intuition all the time. We're not always conscious of this, but when you start to become aware of that, you'll start to recognize, oh wow, I can feel this. It comes from a really beautiful, feely place. And you'll start to notice that when you're using the logic, the logical mind, and you maybe want something answering, and you're thinking, I'm not quite sure what direction to go in, and you'll feel the link between going here into your thoughts and allowing yourself to bring yourself into that beautiful place, into your soul. And it's usually round about your sort of solar plexus area, in your tummy, that sort of area, and you'll just feel a warm sensation, and you'll just know it comes from that place. It takes a little bit of time to trust this, but it becomes second nature. It's that knowing. We've all experienced those times when we've been sat at a crossroads going, I just don't know which direction to go. And yet you're telling yourself, logically, I should go that way because I maybe know the way this way. But your soul, your intuition saying, no, that's the direction you need to go in because there's more fun along the way. You might not know the whole ins and outs of everything to get you there, but this is the route that you need to go on. This is what's going to bring you the most fulfillment, the most satisfaction. So it really is. I always feel, and this is my experience and with my clients, is you start with the intention first to say, I'm going to be really intentional in connecting to my intuition. And from that place, you'll start to notice then them feelings that arise when you encounter those situations where you need to make a choice or decision. And you might feel a little bit nervous and think, oh my gosh, I'm sure this is my intuition, but it feels so good, but I'm really scared. We've all been there, but then the logic tends to be quite boring. So it's like, I'm going to go that way. I'm really going to go that way. And so again, it really is. It's trusting that we all have everything we need within us when we come from that really beautiful, feely space, energy space, and move with it. And when you start to move, you'll have the experiences that will help you to build the trust, and therefore you'll continue, because really, why would you not do the things and follow the direction that you actually really, really desire?
Yeah. And what would you say, and I love that description, I think that just kind of creates a clear picture in my mind,
Yeah,
and I'm sure the listeners too. What would you say is a way to like strengthen our ability to really hone into our intuition?
sure. There's always a starting point, but I just want to tap back a little bit to what I mentioned. We are all using our intuition. It's constantly reminding us, do this, do that, this is going to be better for you, this is what you really desire, these are your strong desires, this is what's going to bring you the most fulfillment. Okay, but we don't always listen. We've got busy minds, we've got so many other things going on, and we're very distracted. So start a practice, and I'm not particularly into everybody doing the same thing. I'm a big believer that we're all unique and we need to find what works for us. So it's just with the intention to go, I just want to understand more about my connection. What's it feel like for me, so that I can have my own practice. So again, a little bit of space, a little bit of quiet time. That can be for you sitting quietly without distractions, or it could be walking in nature, because we're all different. So you might love that bit of birds singing in the background, the wind blowing in the trees. So that's your beautiful place, and that's where you'll feel more connected. Or you might need that silence with no distraction, where there's nobody about. That's going to be the place for you. So find what works for you. But again, it's all about the intention. Set the intention. I want to understand more. I want to flow with my intuition. I want to connect. I want to build my trust. And it is about feeling confident to take the action from that place, because we have been wired to do the logic. yeah, it's not logical. That's a bit different. So it really is. But start to in those moments when you're questioning yourself, am I going in the right direction? Is this right for me? Little try these little things. These are sort of some of the few things that I started with. When someone asks you to do something, stop for a moment. Instead of answering straight away what you think you should do, which is, of course I'm going to help you, or of course I'm going to go out for that coffee, or absolutely, really just stop in that moment and feel and ask yourself, do I really want to do this? Is this going to bring me fulfillment? Is it really what I want to do? And feel. That's a really good place to start, because what I find, and a lot of my clients do that, we're on autopilot, and we don't always feel what's right for us. Your intuition will guide you to what feels right for you. What's going to bring you the most fulfillment and satisfaction with what you're doing, because your intuition knows everything. It knows what you desire. It knows what's going to light you up. The connection between you and your soul and your intuition, it's magical. It's beautiful. And again, it's just finding your own place to start, and building and taking the action. It's really important that you follow through with the action, and not just go, well, that feels nice, but you've got to move with it. And then you'll be able to and look back and go, well, actually, that was amazing. Being able to listen to my own intuition, move with that, and now look at the fulfillment and excitement and beauty that I've had in this experience. I'm going to continue to do this. So again, it's that it takes a bit of time, but just to know you're not bringing anything externally into you, within you. It's there. Your intuition lies within you. It's there. It's just it's always guiding you and loving you and supporting you. It's just waiting for you to acknowledge that and go, oh. And as soon as you do, I find, and my clients have found, that when you do set the intention, you become really aware that I'm going to start to connect. Then your intuition almost goes on overdrive. It's like, oh, here we go. Yeah, they're ready. It's like opening the floodgates. Yeah.
Well, could you give me, either from your clients or from yourself, a time when you or your client listened to your intuition and where it led you to?
Absolutely. I've got lots of stories. So let me think to something recent for me that would, be able to paint that picture like you say. For those of you that don't know me, I work with online clients. I like to see people in person, but obviously with the COVID restrictions, things changed a lot. I've been focusing on how can I deliver to my clients and have a maximum impact. So what I was doing over the last sort of few months, I was building a program, an online program, groups of people. I've done this in the past and it's been wonderful, building this program, and towards the end, when I was ready to launch, and I actually did launch the program, and I had a lot of people interested, I sat down and there was something niggling. There's just something didn't feel right. Yeah, it was almost like a knowing. You'll be able to pinpoint a time when you've all experienced this. You'll just go, it just doesn't feel right. There's something not right. And I sat with it, and I spent the weekend. I was ready to bring my clients in under 5 days. I was ready to go. I had everything in place, the recordings, the videos. It was like literally all go, go, go. And I knew that I wasn't listening. I was logically looking at what would be and what other people are doing to bring as many people together as I can for the impact, but I wasn't listening. So I sat with this for the whole weekend. I did that. I went for walks. I fell in. I asked questions. Is this right for me? What are you showing me? What do I need to understand? Why do I feel like this? And really allowing it to receive the information that was right for me. And what I ended up doing was pulling the program. Literally pulling the program. And that's a big decision to make when you have clients ready to pay you, that are excited. But what I was receiving was it wasn't going to give me the fulfillment that I was looking for. There was other ways to do this. And then as soon as I made that decision, I had floods of ideas and inspiration and insight and around how I'm going to do this. How am I going to reach more people? But not by sitting behind a laptop doing a group program. And as soon as I made that decision and said, I'm really sorry, this is the way it's going, something's coming, don't worry, it's not the end, it's just that I can't deliver it. And I was so open and honest with them. I explained what I went through, the results of that, and what this now means. The conversations we had was amazing with the clients. It was like, wow, a good lesson for everybody to allow yourself to trust that if it doesn't feel right for you, don't do it. And since then, the event side of things, which is coming up for me, is something that I'm moving into. And everything has really been so much more flowy. It's blown my mind. It's really almost instilled in me now. It's so important to get this out to people, that we have to listen, we have to trust, because ultimately the fulfillment and satisfaction that you're desiring is, the answers are within you. And to get you to that place, you have to go within, you have to follow your intuition. We can't use the logic anymore. Yes, we need to use our logic mind for certain things, but when you're wanting to live a fulfilled and satisfied life with love and passion, then it has to be soul intuitively led. 100%, it really does. And I hope that's a really good example for people that are maybe sitting there now going, oh my gosh, I'm doing something that doesn't feel right. I'm forcing myself. There's a forcing energy around this when it doesn't line up, isn't there? And you're sort of thinking, take a few deep breaths, take your time away and really relax around this, because it will unfold and you'll get exactly what you need. So my advice for anybody listening to this that's sat there, take that time feeling, and if it is that you do pivot and change direction a little bit, it's fine, it's safe, and it'll be the best decision that you make in your life or business, and both. It doesn't really matter, because business flows into life, as we know. It's got to be, there has to be a balance there. So that for me was, that was like, oh my gosh. And doing the things that start to flow to you once you've made that decision, because ultimately you're in control of that. You've got to make that decision, and then all the ideas and the inspiration that came flowing, and then the contact with people that came through, I was like, of course this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not supposed to be sat behind that desk. It doesn't light me up, it doesn't fulfill me, it doesn't make me feel alive, it doesn't. I miss that connection with humans. And so that was a really big moment for me to go, this is magic. It's gold dust, really, it is. Yeah.
You're inspiring me
Yeah.
just hearing your story,
Good.
Victoria. Like your story resonates, I feel like a
Mm.
lot with like where I'm at with my business too. What resonates, what doesn't resonate. And I love how you were able to really open yourself up to all of those ideas and
Yeah.
inner sources of inspiration once
Yeah.
you really allowed yourself to like let go of what you
Yeah.
thought needed to happen. People pleasing comes to mind in this. Like, was that an issue at all whenever you were making this decision?
Of course. Yeah. Not really understanding that to feel fulfillment in life, it's really important that this is the self-love element, of course, isn't it? That we have to make sure that this feels good and it's right for us, and it's not being selfish. In fact, it's being the most loving that we can to be able to be that person for others. And if I was going, if I showed up in that environment and taken on that program, I know there'd have been some moments of, oh, I just don't want to show up on that now. I just don't want to go and do that. And that's not how I want to show up to my community, to my clients. I want to be the best. I want to be dying to be, you know, online with them or you know, in front of them, working with them. I don't want to be feeling any resent or agitation, which is what can happen. Because when we do, and this is a really good indicator for a lot of you listening, if you're feeling agitated about something, it tends to be that we're not listening, we're not following what's right for us. And I'm not going to take away that this is not an easy decision to make sometimes. We've got to trust, because we're human beings and we're emotional beings, we're wired that way. But you just have to trust. That's all I can say. You have to trust. If it feels really good in those moments when you have an idea, a download, you receive that amazing either program, or doesn't have to be around work. I just want to go to that country. I just want to travel here. I want to do whatever. It's in those moments that your soul is speaking to you, saying that's what's going to light you up. That's what's going to fulfill you and satisfy you. And then, unfortunately, we spend too long in that, where the subconscious mind starts to come in going, you can't do that. You can't do that. You've never travelled before, or you don't have the money to do that. That's a big one, isn't it? So many different beliefs that we hold. You know, it would take me all day to pull out all of the ones that we tell ourselves. But it's in that moment that we go, a really good truth to hold is, it's safe for me. The truth is, it's safe for me to listen to my intuition and follow it. Yeah, only good things can come from this. And we just have to keep reminding ourselves that this is what we desire. This is who we are. This is where you blossom. This is where you become the best version of who you are. And come on, ultimately, that's what we're here for. We want to be happy and fulfilled and satisfied. And it doesn't matter what other people think. It's what we feel that matters. So,
Yeah, I love that, and it's a different perspective on it too, because I do feel like some may worry how it may affect others, but in the end, like, it's your decision and it's your life, and you get to make it what you want to be. You're the artist of your life. You can paint whatever picture and change and edit it however you want.
Oh gosh, yeah, I love that. Absolutely. And don't tell everybody, share when you're ready to share, when it feels that you're solid and you feel that you're there, and you don't have to share everything with everybody. Choose who you share. Share with your cheerleaders, share with the groups of communities that are there to really cheer you on. And, I know what that's like around certain family members and friends. Not everybody's going to get you, and that's fine, because it's not their desires or dreams or aspirations, they're yours. Yeah? So you've got to go, okay, if you have a big dream, an aspiration, and you've already maybe shared that with a few people, and they've said, don't be ridiculous, you can't do that, or that's not, you'll never make any money out of that, or there's so many different things. They're their fears, okay? They're coming from a fear-based energy. For whatever reason that is, don't share it. This is the example of, this is why a lot of people stay where they stay, because they're listening externally to what others are saying. And you're going to get this. Whatever you do, Doesn't matter what you do, you will always have somebody that doesn't agree with you, something to say about that, trying to sort of dampen down your light. And you've just got to, it's a new way of being. And I would say to those of you that are listening that do have these dreams, aspirations, find a community that will support you. Okay, then you can share, because we are humans, we like to interact, we like to have conversations, so it's important we can do that, but find the right community. And you don't have to share everything. I find sometimes almost keeping some of your ideas a little bit sacred with your energy until it comes to that time when you're ready to share with people, because you're ready to do it. Yeah, you're there. That's a good way to help you if you're thinking about all the other, how am I going to share this with people? You don't have to share it with the people that are going to cheer you on. Get into the communities. There's so many communities, for you to jump into that will be there to support you.
Yeah. And I love how you bring that into our source of intuition can really heighten when we're with others who are supporting us and uplifting us. Would you say that our intuition is more so in our bodies and in our soul rather than our mind?
What I believe is that it's not within the mind. It's a very different experience, and the more in tune you become with it, it comes from a very feely place. Your intuition is, I would say, soul guidance. Okay, it comes from the soul. Some people like to use the word intuition. Some people will use the word soul guidance. It really is one, okay, and so it comes from that place. It's within you. But it's not in the mind. And the more you start to use your intuition, you'll really feel that. You'll go, oh, here I am again. I'm trying to work this out. I'm not listening. I'm not feeling. Yeah, it comes from a very feely place, and just stop in those moments and allow yourself to move from here, from the mind, back down and feel. And just ask, just say, let me feel my soul, let me feel that, that lovely, warm, beautiful energy within me, everything that I am. And it just takes a little bit of practice. Let me tell you, most people, I've said this before, but everybody uses their intuition, but there's a lot more awareness around intuition now. A lot of high achievers, one particular that I've been reading about just recently is Richard Branson. He talks about using his intuition for his business decisions all the time. Always go with what feels good. It's being used, that the language we use connected to that differs a little bit. So use what feels comfortable for you. If it's from the soul and you're leading from the soul, use that. If it's intuitive, use that. If it's a knowing, if you just want to say, I just know, I can feel it, then use that. It's fine. It really is up to you. But everybody's using it. I feel the more we use it, the more fulfilled as human beings, and the better experiences we're going to have, which is what we're here to do.
Yeah, and that reminds me a little bit of how our intuition can play a role into our purpose in life. So can you speak a little bit on that?
Okay, purpose. Absolutely. There's lots of different language around this, isn't there, that's going around at the moment. How I would sort of use, the terminology I would use is, we have lots of purposes. I don't believe that we have a purpose. Okay? A lot of people say, I just want my purpose, I just want my purpose. Well, why not have a purpose to wake up in the morning and feel happy? That's a purpose. Yeah? So we have lots of different purposes. I believe then that we have real deep soul desires. Okay? Those are the ones that people might sort of use. Oh, it's my purpose. And, being in a certain place or interacting with certain people or doing a certain job. People will say, that's my purpose, I'm here to help people. I feel, for me, they're my strong soul desires. That's what I'm here to play out. Heavily linked to, I do believe in soul contracts, so I do believe that, that's where this comes from for me, that if it feels you can't take your eye off the ball, it's always in the background, and you go, I've always wanted to do that, I've always wanted to be there, I've always wanted to experience that. That is a soul desire. So it's part of what people would class as a purpose. But just remember, you can have lots and lots of purposes. It's not just one thing. Yeah. And if you can really look at this as just to feel content and happy and relaxed. That's a purpose. Yeah. And then you have to feel grateful, to feel loved, to feel abundant. That's another there's so many different ways of understanding this, but from my perspectives is that if you feel really strongly about something and it's linked to maybe a type of work, a connection to somebody, then that would be a strong soul desire, and that would be part of your soul contract. And that's why you can't put that down. You just can't put that down. Yeah. And it's waiting for you. It's almost tapping and saying, come on, this is what you desire. This is who you are. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't deny yourself. We do deny ourselves from so much, and we tend to settle a lot. And a lot of my work with my clients is on not settling. No more settling. We're not here to settle, are we?
Yeah.
We're here to experience whatever we want to experience, because we're all unique, we're all different. So yeah, that would be my interpretation of purpose, soul connection.
Yeah, just really leaning into like what we're actually truly feeling, and just moving into the direction of what feels good, and just keep listening into your intuition, and eventually you'll be led to where your purposes are.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Lots of them. Yeah. And a lot of people will say to me regarding that, I'm not on the right path, I'm not doing the right thing, and we're always going in the direction we're supposed to be going in, whether we're listening or we're not listening. We've got growth. We know that. We're here for growth. We're here to expand as our souls, to hold the energy, to enrich our lives, and therefore, don't feel, if there's anybody listening, where I'm just not on the right path, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Take a bit of time, take a deep breath, because it's fine. You're going to be taken care of. And start to connect to your intuition and ask, what do I need to do? And the more you ask, the more you receive, the more you'll be able to move with that, okay? Because we do have to ask a lot of the time. A lot of people say, well, I just don't know. And I say, have you asked? And they say, no. Ask. Ask. Let it be felt. Spend some time with that. Yeah? We don't need to rush into things. A lot of people want, I've got to rush. Time's running out. It's not running out. It's not. It's fine. Yeah? It's like, just slow down. Allow and just flow. I don't know whether you know much about the feminine and masculine energy. We have to be flowing. You will. Yeah, of course. We've got to flow in the feminine. Let's create. Let's be intuitive. And then we'll switch and we'll get the job done. Okay? But it comes from that energy, and we all feel it. And trust is a big thing, and I know that. But the more you do, the more you trust. You build that confidence around that, where it becomes second nature, where you'll go, well, that feels exciting. It's different, but it feels good, so I'm going to go do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like, too, maybe one thing that may have been on your mind, or maybe was a decision for you one year, maybe completely different the next. Like,
Absolutely.
It's just a continuous evolvement.
Oh my
like
gosh.
Even just yesterday, I was driving to this hike and looking at all of the farm style houses and their ranch with all the horses. I've never pictured myself as like living a farm style lifestyle, but I was like, I could totally see myself having a few horses, kind of picturing yourself into, or like almost like visualizing yourself into a certain way of being and seeing how it feels.
Absolutely. I'm really big on that. I call it prospecting, but it's visualizing. It's all the same. It's about put your energy into that. And interesting for you there, you talk about driving past the ranch, and that's your connection. That's your connection to you. You're so going, oh, wow, Victoria, this would be amazing. And you could, I could really live here. Of course you could, yeah. Because of the fulfillment that comes with that, the satisfaction that comes with that. And there'll be so many different reasons to why that is. It could be the nature, the horses, the connection to animals, just the beauty of the outdoors. It's all the elements of your soul shouting out to you to say, this is beauty for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, interesting the way you say things can change. You know, I change all the time, and you know, people say, "Are you doing that? You're not doing that anymore." No. Yeah. And they said, "You've changed." And I went, "I hope I have."
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like we're here to change. Not everybody likes change, but when you start to feel really connected to who you are, you will. It's really unavoidable is change because it's satisfying for you as a soul to embrace change and to move with that. Yeah, again, it's like, don't worry if you're doing something and then in a few weeks' time, you know, as long as it's not the logic and you're just skipping because maybe there's a fear something around that, but really check in with that. But if it's coming from that, from you, from your soul, from your intuition, and it's saying, just try this, see what that feels like. That's when you go for it. And you know, I always say to my clients, well, that's amazing for now, if that's what you want to do. And they go, what do you mean for now? I want to do that for the rest of my life. I'll say, no. No. Yeah, so it's always for the now, because things change. Energy changes all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the more you evolve and expand as a soul, you know, the more experiences you're going to want to have. We know this, don't we? So it's inevitable that change will come to you, and you'll take that so much more easier, knowing that you are taken care of. You are safe to do that. So yeah.
And like a little download just came through. It's almost like the universe is like knocking at your door saying you're ready for this next evolvement.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah. Massively.
Yeah. And what about when you spoke of fear? What
Okay.
about when fear is like blocking our intuition? How can we release it so that we're able to really listen to ourselves?
Absolutely. There's lots of different ways to release. And something that I went through, this is quite a long time ago now, I do believe that we store vibration in the body. Okay. And I believe this is linked to our experiences. So when we have experiences, maybe certain types of trauma, trauma with a capital T, small t, doesn't matter what it is, it's how you experience that. We hold that and we store that vibration, and it does store within the body. I'm a big believer, which is probably for another day, how ailments can form in the body from our experiences through the vibration of what's stored in the body. So if we do hold a lot of low vibration, it can be hard to connect and feel. A lot of people say, I can't feel anything. And it might be that you've got a lot of vibration around the areas that need shifting. So there's a lot of work that needs to take place, a lot of healing. And what I tend to do, the process that I've always used is intuitive and soul-led, not trying to find what this is connected to, but really allowing yourself to ask, why do I feel like this? Where is this coming from? What happened? What do I need to understand? You don't have to dig, it'll come to you. This is the beauty of this work, because everything you have that needs clearing, you know within you. Your soul will guide you to that, okay? And it will also guide you to almost prioritise that needs to go. You need to go and do that because you're desiring that. We need to clear that because you're really fearful around that situation. Okay, so again, it's just that understanding, and the way I like to view our experiences is, it's okay to have that fear. It's okay to go, that scares me. And what we're trying to do is, we're not going to set an affirmation and go make that the complete opposite, because they're only words. What we do need to do is to almost bargain a little bit. Okay, I understand why I feel like that, and that's, you know, rightly so, that experience caused me to feel that pain or that suffering. But right now, that's not going to help me. So actually, just because that happened then, doesn't mean I'm going to experience that again. So I'm going to change that, I'm going to reframe that, and I'm going to set new truth. And I use truth creation. So we set a truth that goes against that, to say, yeah, the truth is, just because that happened to me in the past, doesn't mean it's going to happen again. Okay. And it's allowing yourself to let go of that. It's allowing yourself to almost agree with, yeah, you did feel like that. Okay. But actually, that's not true anymore, because it doesn't mean it's going to happen again. And that's a really nice, so I do a lot of truth creation with the clients as well over the fears. So it's working on the fears, clearing them. And the more you clear, the clearer you become to receiving, because it's lifting the vibration. If you imagine, all of our desires are really light, lovely vibrations that run through the body. Otherwise, there wouldn't be desires. All of our fears are heavy and they can store in the body. So the more we clear of this, we do some truth creation, then the more vibration, this low vibration, is released from the body. Therefore, you can feel more. You'll have stronger connections to your soul guidance, your intuition. So it is an important part of a process for you to be able to be fully functional with your soul connection and intuition. So yeah, again, working on releasing. Very interesting subject actually. It's a very big one for me. I spent years and years and years doing a lot of work on clearing and healing. And I do believe that, you know, when we allow this stored vibration to leave the body, our cells do a lot of healing. There's a lot of cellular healing that goes on. So you've got the benefit of that. Then you've got that clear channel where when you can start to feel and receive. And you can get that in so many different ways, as we know. You can feel it, you can see it, you can just know it. You can have lots of visuals that come through and ideas and words, colours. You really do start to open yourself up to the beauty of life and the truth of life as well, why you're here and who you are. So it's a no-brainer, really. Get going with your intuition. Start to understand what's stopping you. Start to clear that and go and live that life that you deserve and desire. Yeah.
Yeah. So with fear, I love how you speak of it like it's nothing to be ashamed of or thing that
Absolutely
you should
not.
fear that you have fear.
Yeah.
Like everybody has it, everybody
Yeah,
experiences it, and I think it is just part of that process. Like almost serves as a teacher.
Yeah.
For you.
Oh yes, definitely. Absolutely. It's like, you've got to be positive every day and you've got to, and I said that's not normal. We're human beings. Yeah. But what is important is that we can in that moment change our perception of things. We can in that moment shift our energy. We can in that moment choose to hold on or let go. That's the important thing.
Yeah. And like continuous, all right, what do I need to let go of today? What do I need to keep?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a decluttering of your energetics almost.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Decluttering is another important thing as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So, is there any like final advice for the listeners that you would give?
Okay. Gosh, what final advice? Get going. Okay. Be really intentional. As soon as you set the intention that you want to start to connect, you want to really understand who you really are. You want the answers to the questions that you've been asking probably most of your life, that only you hold the answers to. You know what they are. They're within you. And really get excited about this. Get excited that, oh my gosh, I've got everything that I know within me. I've just got to start to trust. I've got to start to tap into that part of me. So get really excited. And when you do become intentional, you start to become so much more aware of what's been flowing to you all the time. Okay? And you'll be amazed. You'll be absolutely amazed. You'll think, oh my gosh, this has just happened today. This has just happened today. That's it. That's the connection. Again, it's like more of that, more of that. Why would I not want more of that? And you'll also start to realise you'll have times when you'll go, oh, I was connecting then in that experience, and you know, things that have happened in the past. I was connecting then. I must have been. So you'll be able to pinpoint times when you have been connecting and receiving, but you've just not been aware of that. So intentional, be really intentional, and start your own little practice of, you know, daily connecting and with that intention, and allow the magic to flow to you. It really is a way of it. It's the best way to live. It really is, for your uniqueness to who you are, discovering what you want to experience here on earth. Absolutely. It's time to go. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
When you start to.
Isn't it?
Amazing.
It's truly magical. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, where can listeners connect with you, Victoria? Do you have any sort of social media links or anything like that?
I do, yeah. I've got, I use Facebook, which is Victoria Spencer. What I do have as well, I have a free audio connection, which is, there's one which is a soul connection, which will help you just to
Ooh.
feel into your soul energy. And there's another one which I'll pop in as well, which is an intuitive led business connection, which will help you if you are in business and you're wanting to be really guided by your soul, your intuition. That is a lovely practice as well, just to help you feel into the flow of that energy, because business energy is a little bit different to just living life. So there's two practices that you can use free, and we'll pop them in the link for you to take that advantage, because they're amazing. They really will help you.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah.
so much for sharing those. And I can't wait to give them a listen either.
Yay! Amazing.
Yeah, and my final question, this is like a signature question that I ask all
Okay.
my guests. It's what does it mean to blissfully bloom?
Oh, wow. Just to live your life connected to your soul, that's full of all your dreams and desires, with confidence and trust and love. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
beautiful. Thank you
Yay!
so much for sharing, and thank you so much for coming on the show
You.
today,
Thank
Victoria.
you. It's been amazing. Thank you so much.